Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Rocklaz Radio. Today is a special episode. We will be discussing Web3, crypto, and a new ERC token, and much, much more. As I'm saying this before we go into the session, so there can be many more things that happen. So watch the episode till the end for the all rabbit holes we explore in this episode. So cheers on our guest today is Rohan. But before the introduction of the guest, I want to say that the merchandise for Rocklaz Radio is out. You can find it in the description. This show has been going on for over a year, and we have had several amazing guests from diverse fields, different countries. From different countries we have seen different backgrounds. So do check out other episodes and comment and tell us which one was the best you found. All right, so let's get into the show. And if you want to support the show, you can join the Rocklaz Club. You can become a member of the club. You can buy some dope kick-ass NFTs and now even merchandise. So check it out. Today's show, we have a guest, a very young guest this show is going to be a face reveal for this. You have been following him on social medias, and this is the first time he's revealing himself. So Rohan, welcome to the show. About him, he has been a Web3 native, growth marketer for 3 years, generated over $10 million for e-commerce brands, founded 2 e-commerce brands and social media marketing company, worked with over 15 e-com brands, helping them to multiply their revenue while increasing the profit margins. And now in crypto since 2020, NFTs since 2021, and he has fallen in the love with the tech. He's primarily a marketer, and his additional skills are in Web3, content marketing, go-to Web3 strategy, and Web3 business community growth. So, Rohan, welcome to the show. It's a privilege for this episode to undox a person, to dox a person. So, cheers. Okay. How are you doing?
Thank you for inviting me here, Tanmay. I'm doing absolutely well, and it was a great introduction. I appreciate that. And yeah, let's get into it.
So, about yourself, can you tell us more about you? It was a very short introduction. Let's find out more. Tell us about your story.
Yeah, so it was like if we are only talking about Web3, I got into the Web3 stuff in late 2021 in the peak bull market when everyone was making money flipping the JPEGs and all that stuff. So I kind of joined in that hype. And then I've been part of hundreds of NFT projects, and then when the bear market hit, I got more interested in the technology, how things work, what is going behind all those JPEGs which we are trading, making money from. So that's kind of the thing. And when I got more deeper into the rabbit hole of all these NFTs, it just made more and more sense why we call it the future of the technology of future. So yeah, and while doing that, I also started writing content on my socials. It's been around, I think, 7 months since I've been doing it. And yeah, that's kind of and we are here now. It's all because of it. It's amazing actually, the opportunity you get just because one day you decided to start posting a piece of content every day. It just
yeah, it's your content. That's how I got to know. One of the leaders in the Web3 and NFT space had retweeted that and mentioned your tweet in his thread. So that's how I came to you and found out more about all your other content that you create. So you are very young. When did you graduate?
I haven't even graduated. I just actually I'm mid-18, you can say 18 and a half.
You're just 18 years old.
Yeah.
So you will be going to college now.
Yep. I just took a year of gap. So let's get before in time a little bit. So I got into the whole online money stuff in when I completed my school. Just passing my 10th grade at that time. So like I got into like it was summertime, holidays, nothing to do. So that's kind of the time when I got into it, and then also the lockdown hit and everyone was on home, so there's nothing to do really. So yeah, I was like following a bit of like how people make money online, especially in the drop shipping space, if you know, like drop shipping and e-commerce. So that's kind of where I had like my eye on. And then when I got the time, like after completing my exam, so I started like going out there what I can do. So like the in my very initial days, I started as a web designer on WordPress, making website for other businesses or brands and stuff like that, just so I can collect some money to start my dropshipping store, which are which did require some sort of initial funding. So like that's kind of the reason why I got into it. And I started when I was doing that, then I like started doing dropshipping store. I tried my own, obviously, which I lost money. And then like I did it for quite a while, and then I was while I was doing that for myself, I like kind of also started looking for more opportunities to run ads for others as well. So that was the time when I met like a guy who was from America. He was like he was running his store, like it was an e-commerce store selling print and canvases. It was basically like they take your picture and then turn it into like a cartoon, the in Simpsons. So like that's kind of the thing they used to do. When I joined them, they were like in their very initial day, they were making like $1,000, $2,000 per month in sales. So the guy reached out and asked if I can help with that. So like I personally wasn't really an expert at that time, but I anyway just took the offer and thought we'll see whatever will happen. So like that's kind of the thing. And then I got started with him, and then I started working for him on the advertising stuff, helping with getting more customers. So yeah, and when we first started it, and like I do, like I to be honest, was not knowing what I was doing. I was just doing, and it some sort of was working somehow, and it did pretty well. So yeah, that's kind of the thing. And then later on, we also did more stores together. And then when we were doing that, one of his friends, so like his name is Jeff, we were running that store. So one of his friends saw that Jeff is doing these great results. How can he do it as well? So he reached out to Jeff and asked, "How are you doing all this crazy number?" So Jeff then introduced me to his friend. So it was like the first time I did ad for someone other than Jeff. So like that's kind of a thing, and it's when we started the whole agency thing. Then later on, we got the opportunity to work more and more businesses for running ads. Then yeah, by this time I had my agency like it was like a registered company. We were doing pretty well in that. It was called Broker at that time, Broker, and now it's obviously not working anymore. So like I was some sort of making money already. So like I still managed to like complete my high school while doing that. So yeah, it was last year when I like completed my 12th standard, and I then decided to took a year of gap in between to focus more on this stuff only. So yeah, I'll be most probably be like can't promise, but yeah, maybe I'll be going to college by end of this year.
Yeah, that is so interesting. You have had so many achievements. You started off on this path so early. I'm sort of jealous also to get the chance of doing it so early. So drop shipping business, you have a lot of experience, and that's another topic that we'll talk about. What is drop shipping, how it works. So let us in fact start with that. And you are based in India, by the way, for those who are still hearing. And it's so exciting to hear young achievers. I really get inspired by young achievers. Yeah, let's dive and know more about it. So first of all, what is drop shipping for the uninitiated?
So drop shipping is basically like let's say you have a store, like you sell something There's basically like there are suppliers or website where you can get items for cheap and then sell it for higher price, and they handle everything for you, like from delivering to getting the order and all that stuff. The most popular site in here is this Alibaba, like AliExpress, but they have their Alibaba as well, which is the bigger version of that. So basically, on AliExpress, you can find products from China for like very cheap amount, and then you can make your store branded stores and sell it for higher price to the other markets, mainly in the like the tier one countries like US, Canada, UK, or things like that. So like you don't have to handle the shipping or product. You only pay for the product when you have an order. So let's say someone orders or places an order from your website, you will tell the supplier that I have this order, and just you will give him the address and he will ship it today, and you make profit in between.
So it is like reselling, it is like retailing, but in a digital way. So
Yeah.
you tie up with producers, marketers in China, especially Alibaba, and then you repackage it, and the repackaging is done by on your website. Your website is your repackaging. So you do the SEO for that, reach out to the people who are potentially looking forward to those kind of products, and then sell it, isn't it? And do ads for those products. Is that what you'll do primarily?
Yeah, ads is the reason. Like ads is the main source of where you get those customers from. And like when I was doing it in 2020 or 20, like, it was in 2020. So Facebook was the most popular one at that time. So you just build a website, upload the products, and then start running ads for them. And then when you get those orders, you can just like outsource it to them. So like there's actually another story. Like this is where I got started, but when the guy I was talking about, Jeff, where I actually had my first big hit in this space. So like he was like the product was not exactly like the business model was not exactly in drop shipping, but kind of the same way. But yeah, some sort of it was e-commerce space. We basically had artists, like a team of huge 50 or 70 artists at that time, who were making those paintings for you. Like let's say if a customer places an order, he gives you his images which he wants to like, get in this, and we send it to our artists, and when we get back from our artists, we send it to the consumer's mail.
That is amazing. That is something very useful for NFTs as well. So have you moved this model to NFTs?
Not exactly like I said, I initially started as a trader in the NFT space. So like I was doing and flipping JPEGs. I did for a while. I did a good money from that as well. And like I was making decently, and I decided to just close the other stuff which I was doing, including my agencies. Or
Hmm.
I also left the e-commerce company with Jeff, which I co-founded. So like I left both of them to get into it, and then beer market hit. So so like this was like one of the biggest mistakes of my like this small career which I have been so far. So, yeah, like that. Yeah.
So by the way, guys, the Jeff he's mentioning is Jeff Bezos. So
I actually, there's a funny story. His name I have saved is Jeff, and in bracket not Bezos.
Jeff, not Bezos. Okay, that's very cool. So coming back, this is a very interesting story, and I love how you weigh big mistake of my life. I mean, the small career I've had. Very interesting. So, drop shipping is you place ads. So, tell us about few products and what ads do you place on them, and how are the ads?
So it's basically like the ads depend on the product. While I was doing it, it's basically like I'll tell you about the store which we were doing, like the
Yeah,
first day.
tell an example of a product, and then you can
Like
take it back from
yeah,
there.
like at that time there was a huge viral product which was the massage gun. You can just have this in your hand, and like they say, like, if you just turn it on, it just like vibrates, and it's kind of the massage gun which is. So like that was the most popular hot selling item of that time. So like what people will do is find that product on Alibaba, and then those people also upload images of the product as well. So, but it was in the early days, people just take the images from Alibaba or AliExpress and upload it on their website. And later on, what you can do is buy a product for yourself and get on your studio, like your proper studio, do proper shootings and get professional videos and all that stuff. And then you make ads for them by going to the Facebook Business Manager, which used to be very good, but nowadays they are struggling and not very good as well. So yeah, like, and then you start running ads, and then like if the themes work properly, then you get sales as well.
How do people trust these websites out of? I mean, there is Amazon and eBay and other well-established distributors of these products, right? They can find these products even there. So how do they trust these small websites whom they have never heard about, or whom they don't know the customer reviews or story? How are they willing to get an order or place an order with them?
Yeah, so that's where like the main branding part comes in. If you're taking a product, so you have to brand it pretty well. You most of the time you also provide an what we call it, return or replacement guarantees as well. And other than that, another reason is most of the people who are the customer are impulse buyers. They see a product, they like it, they instantly place an order without doing any, like, there's no DYOI in there. Yeah, so it's like that's the reason. And yeah, like many people think people will not buy for this much price because they can get the same item for cheaper on Amazon as well. But it's not the case actually. Most of the people are too lazy to go and all do that stuff. They like a product, they take their credit card and pay you right on the spot.
This is the situation in the tier 1 countries, or
Yeah,
US and Europe in specific,
yeah,
I
exactly.
believe. So I guess Indians and Chinese are always bargain hunters, so they would do some research and buy
Yeah, but
in
actually,
general.
it also works in India as well. There are like plenty of people I know who have been crushing it in the Indian market as well. Just the only problem you get in India is because of the huge market is in cash on delivery. People like to order on cash on delivery. So with that, what happens is people place an order and forget about it. When this delivery guy comes in, they say, "I never ordered it," or "I don't want it." So you have to take it back. And there, what you lost is the shipping price you paid to the shipping company. So this is like one of the biggest pain points we have in Indian dropshipping model.
So why not put the products instead of having your own website? Why don't you do this and sell it on Amazon? Amazon can take care of the shipping and cash on delivery and all that.
Yeah, then like that's kind of the stuff which you do when you get at a bigger level, or you have is already established a brand on a product. If you are like all you are selling is a blender, then why will someone want it? If your product is actually innovative and does something good, then it will make sense to like put it on there. Most of the people actually do this as well. There's a model called Amazon FBA. So what happens in there basically is people buy product in bulk, put them in their own warehouses or on Amazon warehouses, and then post the product there. They buy in bulk from Alibaba as well. They buy, like, let's say there's a product called this water bottle. So like they will get this water bottle for like order 1,000 pieces from Alibaba for, let's say, $5, and then sell it for $10 on Amazon.
So what is the challenge on listing on Amazon?
In my, like, although I haven't done too much of that, but like the only biggest issue is the what you call the ranking or the SEO stuff. Your product won't get on top of the list, and if it will not get on the front page, it will not sell as well. So like with Amazon, you have the huge risk because you have the inventory with yourself. You have already paid for the products.
So in Amazon's case, you have to own the products with yourself. You cannot do drop shipping on Amazon. Is that what you're saying?
Yep. At least like when I was doing when I was aware of it was not an option, but I don't know by now if there are services like that as well or not.
Hmm. Very interesting. You know why I'm asking? Because I just had this is an amazing synchronicity. Last week itself, I was working on my own merchandise, merchandise line for Rocklaz Radio. So I designed T-shirts and mugs and other things like that. I designed T-shirts. I'm an artist, right? So uh, putting my logo on them, designing them. We get to know many quotes also. So when there is a catchphrase or I say this is a quote for a T-shirt, so then we put that out also. So when I was discovering all this, I had a problem with. I found few websites who could do it on demand, print on demand, Printful. There was a Printful. There was one Show Shirt also, something like that, which is currently I'm using, which is the best and simplest for people on social media and who have influence on social media. So my problem was coming with Etsy and Shopify. I think they charge sort of a rent for putting your products or listing your products on it, but I'm unsure how successful it is. And Amazon ka to there was some different case only. They had to have some middlemen, and banking account ke liye bhi you had to have a third party who's registered accounts in US to do that. So what are your thoughts on that? What is the best way to do? Because if you do a Shopify shop or your own shop, you have to do your own marketing. You have to also pay them, and I don't know. We don't know how good it will rank in SEOs. But usually people search on Amazon, right, for cool T-shirts or something like that. I don't know. I mean, you should tell us which is the best place to search and how people, consumers, actually search for these products. So, what is the best thing you would say in this use case?
There's a big model for print on demand as well. It happens in India and other countries as well. It's actually one of the one of the categories in dropshipping, print on demand stuff. Yeah, this kind of a thing, and the platform you're mentioning, and they are pretty popular on the Printful, which you're talking about. It's kind of quite popular in the international market as well. So yeah, what I would say, if for the artist or someone doing their own merch, I think the best will be doing your own drop shipping. Doing your own on Shopify. Yeah, you have to pay some sort of monthly fees as well. But I think the best way to do it will be through your own website on Shopify, or what you can do is there's WooCommerce as well on WordPress, where you can basically do the e-commerce on WordPress, but you don't have to pay any monthly fees there.
But how do people discover you?
Oh, if you're selling merchandise, then you have to if you're selling merchandise, then you obviously must be having some sort of audience as well, right? And if it's not personal merchandise, or it's in terms of clothing, or in fashion in general, then advertising and content creation and influencer marketing, there are plenty of ways, paid and organic as well. Organic, I would say, is content creation. Content creation is one of the most popular one most people do when they are small, basically for small businesses. And advertising is for more established brand. If you say in India, there's Bevco, and then other Soul Store, and brands like that.
Okay. So what I'm getting out of this discussion is, if you are an influencer, a best way is to cater only to your audience initially and focus on creating your audience and growing that. You can have minimal design or just 2 or 3 products in the merchandise line and focus more on building the brand and audience first. But there are also some people who are very good at designing, right? so who have many creative ideas for t-shirts and designs, how they can focus on the designing aspect, and the sales and production can be taken care by somebody else, and marketing. So suppose an artist listening to this who has a very good knack of designing t-shirts, and she just wants to focus on designing t-shirts, you take care of everything else. Which is the best platform for them, and how much time would it take for them to start earning?
It will just depend if we are talking about organic only, or like if we are ready to put in some money as well. But I'll say like the best bet will be building your team, having someone who can manage your top of the funnel, basically getting the consumers, and you as an artist completely focus on what you're good at, which is designing the product. Or another thing is you can just partner up with other brands or the bigger brands who have like already established brand. They like there was one of my friends, they were doing like $1 million per month with their print on demand stuff. It was like a fashion store as well. So they had a team of I think 70 product designers, and they used to launch like 1,000 product per month, 1,000 new designs. And yeah, like that way the artist is getting paid by giving their designs to other like the brand which is already established.
Wow. So what is this website which is making 1 million, and how can the listeners apply there or license their artwork to them?
Like the website I was talking about is like it was a private store. Like he started as a dropshipper as well. It was actually one of my friends, a like friends of friend. Like it was a friend from a mutual friend. So
In
he
India?
no, not India. He was from like the US, Miami, if you know.
Hmm.
Yeah, so like he was running, and another funniest thing is he has also closed that, and he's now in Web3. He has built out a platform where you can buy NFTs or crypto with credit card, which is like the best way if we are going for the mass adoption.
Very interesting. So he had these 70 artists working from him. He made thousands of products every month. He closed that whole business down and came to Web3.
Yeah, like his main reason was actually he was having issues with Shopify. Shopify in all of like out of nowhere closed their store because of some copyright issues or some sort of issues. So that's when they had to like they got a hit, and then they managed to get it back on, but they this time they used WordPress for that. And when they were like doing pretty well on WordPress as well, but I don't know what happened. Then he decided to close it and go all in into the NFT stuff. And now he has built a platform for buying NFTs with credit card.
Wow. So these artists, how do they license their artwork? How do they reach somebody who's doing these products? Or I want to focus more on the licensing part, because there are digital products also now, right? Google, Samsung, iPhones, they all show these wallpapers. Even Binge has wallpapers which keep on changing. They write the artist's name on bottom. So have you had any experience or know about how this is done? How do you send your digital works and sell them with um,
Like I'm not
amalgamator?
Yeah, like I'm not 100% sure on that because I never really had to do it or like had an opportunity to do it. But what I assume will happen is like the best way to reach out is one way is you cold DM them or like cold outreach through multiple ways. There are available email, social media, or like there are a bunch of ways. You can just reach out to brands you see. Let's say if there is a big fashion brand who is doing pretty well and you like their art. So what you can do is just reach out to them and ask them if they are looking for more artists, and then you can do that. And like for the Google and like the Google or other art, I'm not 100% sure on how they do it or where they get that art from. But I assume there must be some applying process or it or something like that.
So it can be found out if you search the website. and get there. There's some background noise coming from your end. I mean, is there somebody else in the room?
He just came in. One
Okay.
second. Give me a minute. 1 second. Yeah, is it better now?
Yes. So, what were we talking about?
Yeah.
So what is happening is, I think whatever stuff your person in the background is doing, it's on the table on which the mic is there. So whatever he's doing is coming to the mic. And that's the issue with condenser mics. It catches everything. That's why I use this mic. It is not a condenser mic. It's an old I don't know what they call this mic now. But yeah, it's not a condenser mic. Yeah, if somebody wants to get this mic, I'll put my affiliate link in the description. Okay. All right. So let's talk about Web3 and how to onboard people. But before that, a very interesting topic. Okay, let's go with onboarding non-natives, and then we'll go into details on the new contract of
ERC.
ERC. So Web3, what is your definition of Web3?
In one word, I'll describe it as digital ownership, or the era of digital ownership.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what it is. And I saw some memes on your pages which were showing that Web 2 and Web 3 are fighting, but there's another Web 2.5 which is running behind them. So what is Web 2.5?
That's actually like an interesting thing which I came across like at least like a few months ago when I was exploring this stuff. Web 2.5 is basically like an approach or like a strategy you can call, which is the best if you want to onboard a normal or like a normal user to Web 3. What basically happens in Web 2.5 is you like in simplest ways, it's you have the UI, which is the like the interface, the front end. It will remain the same as it is in Web 2, but on the back end you can use blockchain or the Web 3 technology. Like the best example to explain this will be you can create a wallet with email and password instead of having to save thousands of code or seed phrases on private keys and things like that. It will not be decentralized, or you will not have the 100% ownership of it. But yeah, it's like the easiest way you can get started in this stuff, those custodial wallets.
Yeah, I'm already working on that. So I'll be announcing on that soon, very soon. It's called Poet, Proof of Experience Token. The website is also there. I onboarded many college students, 65 to 65 people have confirmed, and about 100 were there. So onboarded them into Web3 by giving a lecture at Symbiosis and gave them their first NFT also. So it was very simple for them. Get a OTP by entering your email address and password, and then you get it. And once you're ready, you can also transfer it to your decentralized wallets. So that's another beautiful part of it. So that's the big thing I think it's going to be in 2023 is onboarding of the masses is what I feel. So what are your thoughts on onboarding more people and reaching out to more people?
I think like Web3 adoption is first of all inevitable. It is going to happen regardless of what we think or not, because like the technology is truly revolutionizing and innovative. So yeah, I think, and which we were talking about earlier is Web 2.5. It's basically like that is as of now like that is the way to we can through which we can achieve the mass adoption, because the normal users, to be honest, don't really care about what the technology is or how it works or where it is happening. All they care about is what they can get from it, what are the benefits they can get, instead of how things work. The best examples people always give is the internet. Like I'm sure like you also don't know how the internet works or how I'm getting the internet connection. Instead of, all I know is I have a broadband and I get the internet, but how that works, all that stuff, no one cares about that. I can't hear you if your mic is off.
I absolutely understand your point, but just a caveat. I actually know how internet works, and in fact, we had a ISRO scientist on one of our shows. You can check out the ISRO episode, uh, Dr. T.N. Suresh. So I'll attach link to that, or you can just find it. He worked in the satellite department of ISRO, so he gave us a whole brief on how internet works. And in recent one of the recent episodes was with Mr. Srikanth, and he worked in the 5G technology. So he was explaining the 5G technology and how internet works with 5G and how data is transferred. And out of my curiosity, I was also fascinated by how Wi-Fi works. It's just ones and zeros, right? How these waves pack so many GBs of data. So there was a cool episode on one of the podcasts I was hearing. It's very fascinating how, and it's very deep. Actually, we don't get to realize how much and how many people have worked on for this podcast to reach at your place at your convenience and whenever you want. It has to go through many things that many people have worked on. So don't worry about that. Enjoy the show. So the same way, enjoy the empowerment of Web3, owning the assets, ownership of digital assets that you can enjoy with Web3. And yeah, it's very easy now. It's best time to hop on. Okay, so Web3, we also had a blockchain episode where we had one person who was working with the Tamil Nadu government, one person was from US, where both were sharing use cases of blockchain in both the countries and how NFTs are being used, how blockchain is being used at government levels. So for a common person, what are the things that you think would attract them to at least develop interest in knowing about NFTs or Web3 or crypto? And because if there's no use case, only the curious person will come and think about it. We need a more appealing use case, right? What would that be for people?
Yeah, so that's actually one of the like a great point which I mentioned a few weeks ago as well. Web3 adoption will happen with the real world use cases, with solving real world problems, because this reasoning and trading stuff is cool, but not most people are interested in it. Even in the Web2 world or Web3 world as well, we don't have all people are not traders, or they don't like in generally in investing as well. Most people are not interested in investing as well. All they care about is how things can work for them in their day-to-day life, which was the reason why Facebook got viral, because it was solving a real world problem and their target audience was broad. They were just connecting people from all around the world in a single place, allowed them to connect. Similarly, I think Web3 has some of the use cases which already has like a huge audience. All we have to do is just integrate it to make it better. An example would be in the like my personal best one is in ticketing. Let's say there is an event which happens and you book a ticket for it, and then at the last moment you think like I can't make it, or like you decide you don't want to go. So with that, like at the current moment you will have to pay a price for it, or you can't do it. Like there's no way right now. But with NFTs, since you own the ticket, you can just sell it back to the secondary market to the person who needs it, and who knows, maybe make some profit of it as well. So like this is like one of the use case which I think will be huge, and we have tickets everywhere. People use tickets like all around the world for many things. So like integrating technology where users already are is the way to mass adoption, in my opinion.
Yeah, suppose flight tickets or international train tickets, you something missed or something happened and you cannot go to the trip, you can easily sell it forward. Instead of asking for a refund from the company, you can
Yeah,
directly sell it to a third party. But there also will be concern from thinking from the airline's perspective about, because they don't even allow spelling mistakes, right? Because of maybe terrorism or some unethical activities, or maybe this could also happen that people buy ticket in bulk and then oversell it. So there'll be again speculation and trading of just tickets. So black marketing sort of, in a way. But I think this is a good thing. Ticket is a good example, but we can sure make ways and keep it semi Web3, like you said, 2.5,
yeah,
to have a bit control also and to make it easy also for the use cases.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like the similar thing will be with the IPL matches, Indian Premier League. I was looking through the tickets and I can't find one. All of the tickets are sold out for a recent match. And if it was tokenized and it was through NFT, then I can buy it at least from the resale, like the secondary market. Maybe I'll have to pay a bigger price for it, but at least I can buy it online, which is currently like not possible in a legit way in the current market.
So how does somebody buy resold IPL tickets right now?
I think like I'm not 100% sure, but there must be some websites where people must be selling IPL tickets, or even if you go to the venue, then there must be some people doing it, which is how it used to working for tickets, like movie ticket as well back in the days.
Uh,
It's actually like a black market as of now, but with the NFTs, it will become a kind of gray market.
yeah. And I was just thinking they might have opened their own drop shipping Spotify shop for that. Shopify shops for
Yeah,
reselling tickets. Yeah, it's crazy. Where there's potential, there is business.
yeah.
Okay. So Web3, Web 2.5 we have discussed. We all know what is Ethereum. And the two contracts it has, one is 715, right? And the other one is 1115. Am I right?
Yeah, like I'm not I'm not really a dev or to detail about these technologies, because I'm like most of the people are normal users, and
Yeah,
I
yeah. I'm just confirming. I know about them. I'm just confirming the digits. I forgot about that.
yeah,
I wanted to
it's
reconfirm the digits. So
721.
yeah, 721 and 115 are the two types we have right now. So the 721 is the original blockchain or the block space where you can just make one of one. There is just one copy. The use cases are limited in that. Not many things you can do. It's not very flexible. Each edition has to be a new edition. But 115 is a way above it, or it gives more flexibility. You can fractionalize that NFT. You can have thousands copy of the same NFT, and you'll see 1,000 owners of that particular NFT. Instead of seeing one name, you'll be able to see how many people own that.
Yeah, it's
So that
fungible
is,
basically.
yeah, semi fungible.
Yeah.
So that is 115, and pretty exciting to hear that we have 4337 coming in. So what is 4337?
So 4337 is basically like an account abstraction protocol. Like with this, like it allows you to create a type of wallet which you like, which has it basically gives you superpower in your hand, all while still being decentralized. With the account abstraction ERC 4337 wallets, you can do things like setting limits on your account, or it's basically like whatever you can do with the smart contract, you can do it with in your wallet as well. spending limit is one of them, and then there's multi-signature wallet. Like if there's any transaction which has to happen, then you can like put in basically like a two-factor authorization in it. So if your company CEO and chief financial officer has to approve a transaction, you can set it and you sign it from your end, and then both of them will have to sign as well to for that transaction to happen. And there are a few other ways as well, but I think like the main one, I think like which will be most popular will be setting these two-factor authorizations and setting limits one, because like it's how it is with credit cards in today's world. You can set limits on your account, how much you can spend and things like that. It will be mostly beneficial in preventing these hacks or scam which happens in today's market in Web3. With that, you can prevent those from happening.
Very interesting. As we know, the whole world is progressing. So this solves the problems of the previous contracts, which were, of course, we had a lot of fear in 2021-22 about hackers and spam links, where if you just connect your wallet and your wallets are drained and so on and so forth. But with this new contract coming in, I think you can set an upper limit that nobody can do transactions more than that, as we can do with our credit cards and other banking systems. Very interesting.
I was actually I was actually a victim of a scam as well in the bull run. I lost like a plenty of ETH in that hack, but yeah, like it's one of the issues we said we all go through in this phase.
Yeah, talking about the bull run, this is a segue question. When and how did you buy your CryptoPunk?
So there's another interesting story. It's actually not in CryptoPunk. It's like there's one of my friends who he's my like an old friend. We were talking about it, and then he shared in 2027 when he was in college. So his professor gave him two CryptoPunks as a gift. By that time, CryptoPunks were just minting out. So he gave him his two CryptoPunks, and a few years later, he lost account access to that wallet. So basically, his two of the punks were lost. And when I have heard about it, so like I edited it a little bit, like groomed this punk, and initially made my profile picture this as a troll to him. I actually have a tweet as well where I mentioned this the whole thing. And so it was initially as a troll, but then people said like keep it to it, the same one, and so I just continued with this as well and made a brand around it.
Yeah, it's necessary to keep the same PFP.
Yeah,
it becomes a brand. People recognize you by that. But it's an interesting story, making meme out of it and a derivative of CryptoPunk. Okay, pretty cool. All right, so back to ERC-4337. I've got a cheat sheet in front of me that I would just quickly read. ERC-4337 allows you to bundle and automate transactions on Ethereum. It allows for social recovery of crypto wallets, biometric authentication of transactions, and ability to store your wallet's private key on a smartphone security module. We'll talk more about this. Features are made possible by this contract standard. Our ERC-4337 Standard are also available on EVM-compatible blockchains. This standard adds new features to Ethereum without the need for major Ethereum blockchain protocol update. The goal is to eventually provide features made possible through ERC-4337 through a major Ethereum protocol update. Many of the things are not relevant to ordinary people, but we'll talk about biometric authentication and how the social recovery of the crypto wallet is possible. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, so social recovery is basically you can give like you can add a few wallets as your backup wallet. So in case like if you lost access to your account and you also don't have your private keys, so what you can do is ask those people which you have added as a backup or like a trustee for your wallet. You can ask those people, and through the protocol like the social recovery system, they can help you in accessing that wallet back without having to put in your private keys there.
Oh, this is very interesting. So we have validators who are validating the blockchain, right? So we have validators validating transactions. There are thousands of people validating transactions. So now with this use case, I believe there are social people, a group of people which will validate and authenticate if somebody really owns that particular wallet. So with social approval, with people knowing you, you can get your wallet back. But of course, many more risks will come along with it, and I'm sure we'll solve that also. That's more for do your own research sort of things. But it's pretty exciting that this major sadness of losing a lot of wealth because of losing the private keys and access to this wallet was something very sad that this ERC is solving. Can this work on top of the old standards, or this is something completely different?
I think like the wallets which will be created with the account abstraction will be new wallets, and so I think it will be for the wallets which are created through that protocol only. For the
Hmm.
older wallets, I don't think it will be possible. Actually, a funny thing is there was a guy reaching out to me in my DM. Please help me recover my wallet through social security. I lost it last year, and I was like, how can I help you? It's not even like live yet properly.
So it cannot work on the older wallets. But what is happening now, Rohan, is me as an artist and many of us have our identity linked with the current wallets which we have. A proof of an artist making the artwork is based on the wallets which we are using to connect to Foundation, OpenSea, and other places. So if I make a new wallet using this standard, we will need a way to connect both of these and show that authenticity and that identity. So that should be possible. What level are we talking about? Where has the standard reached?
Like in terms of like what exactly you mean by that?
In terms of development and deployment, how ready is this standard?
So like from what the information was available, it actually got deployed on the mainnet on I think it was second or in the ETH Denver event. So the ETH Foundation basically deployed this whole contract live on an event, and now it must be available to everyone who uses like on the every chain on EVM compatible ones, which means Binance and all this Polygon and Ethereum and all that stuff. So where developers can go and build those wallets now.
And how does this standard affect Polygon and the layer 2 solutions?
I mean, it will not affect that much, but it's just basically improving what was available already, right? So I think it should be a good thing for them as well. And actually, there was another like a good use case which I saw which can help in mass adoption for this, which was sponsored transactions, like sponsored gas fees, basically. So like let's say you have a game or like you have a platform where users can come in and interact, but for every transaction you don't like you will not have to pay gas. You can set it in a way where you as a company will pay gas for your users. And there's another thing is like the bundle transactions which we were talking about. So like actually not the bundle transaction, but there's a way which I don't remember the official name of the term, but yeah, what that happens is basically you can set a time frame for like let's say a user joins in for the next hour, every transaction happening with this account will be automatically approved. And you can also set sponsored gas, so you will be paying gas for your user What this does is basically makes the process for a normal user very simple and easy to use. So yeah, it reduces the entry of barrier to the whole technology.
Hmm. Interesting. Many more things to unfold and watch. There was some interesting one of the spaces I was hearing relation of Pakistan banks and KYC and ERC-4337. Can you tell? Do you know about this? Can you tell a bit more about what was happening there?
I don't know. It's the first time I'm hearing about this news.
Okay, so let me read and tell you. Okay, so there we'll have to read this article and tell you more about it. But it's what caught my attention on this is Pakistan's economy is already struggling so much, and in a way, it's good that they are adopting newer technology to solve their issues. Innovations in that, I hope that helps them to fix their issues quicker. All right, so what do you think what are you predicting for, or what are you expecting to happen in 2023
In terms of
in terms of Web3, in terms of blockchain?
yeah, the most obvious thing which will happen is adoption. It will happen more and more, and especially on the side of brands, bigger brands getting into the space, which is kind of where I most have a personal interest as well. More and more bigger brands will jump into the space because of the how innovative the technology is and how it can improve their lives of the consumers, and like there's many ways a brand can use these NFTs. And yeah, I think it's a slow process, but yeah, it will definitely accelerate a little bit by next year and this year as well.
That's a very interesting point you raised about onboarding brands. So, what are the top things that you would say that would be helpful for onboarding brands, or how would you make how can we make it more attractive and easy for brands to onboard?
Yeah, so let's say if you are someone or like an agency which helps brands get into Web3. So what I have seen is basically all these Web3 initiatives come from within their team. So like if you can convince the top layer people of from the company, like let's say the C-suits, like let's say there's a chief marketing officer from a company. So if he agrees to if he gets convinced on Web3, then it increases the overall chances of getting that company get into this space. And to do that, I think like the biggest thing we lack right now is a bit of education. Most people don't know how this thing works, and especially because of how the reputation is about crypto and blockchain in the outer world. It was like a few days ago, I was reading through LinkedIn, actually not LinkedIn, Reddit, and the amount of hate people have for blockchain is just insane. So like that's one of the reasons. And when we can educate them on the use cases blockchain how and tell them it's not just about those pictures you see on the internet selling for millions, it's about the technology which it can do for your brand, what it can do for your users and things like that, then they get agreed on it, and then like things move
So,
from there.
what can it do? And what is the thing that is making them angry? That these pictures are selling for such a high rate, or of them losing out money in the market? What is the main in that post? What was the main sentiment? Why were they getting angry?
It's because of like the uh like the main thing was people don't understand how blockchain works. All this is your picture, the right click saved, like that kind of shit. I can just screenshot the NFTs. Why do I have to pay millions for it? It's just scam. And this seeing news of people losing millions in their crypto, getting bankrupted and things like that. So it all creates a bad effect on them because of a few bad actors in this space.
So how would you counter that? What would you tell them to make it more interesting, more attractive?
Yeah, we just have to share them the use cases, which are the real world use cases. In terms of, let's say, you are a brand, you are a D2C brand, you work with direct to consumer. You can use NFTs to create your own loyalty program in which you basically reward users for interacting with with your brand instead of just in the traditional ways, which where you only give loyalty program like loyalty points when a user purchase something from you. With the NFTs and like NFTs and blockchain, you can reward user for doing certain activities. Let's say the example is Starbucks Odyssey program, which is their new blockchain based loyalty program. What they did is basically they have some sort of quest and activities, and once you complete it, you get a stamp, which is basically an NFT. They put the word stamp to hide that from others, so the users don't need to know what it NFT is and all that. So, and once you have like 5 or 6 stamps, you get an opportunity to unlock another reward, which will give you other benefits and things like that. It's basically having users to interact with your brand more than the purchase, or like making that connection with them, making that bond stronger with your consumers. Because like if you only reward users for a purchase, then like it not exactly a loyalty, like they are not exactly your loyal users, but they are just people who are kind of rich and like your brand. But with this you can find your truly loyal consumers who are ready to give their valuable time to your brand, ready to help your brand.
Hmm. So let's talk about dropshipping as you have experience in that. How would you use Web3 in that?
I think like dropshipping as a whole, I would not say like in dropshipping it's not really a thing. There are some steps in there where you can use blockchain. One can be through smart contracts, where like for automating the payments. Let's say there's a buyer, you put in the set up your smart contract in a way like once you receive the product, the payments get received for uh, the supplier gets its payment as soon as you receive the products, or things like that. There are some steps which you can use, but as an overall, I don't think like there's a cheat code which blockchain enables with the for the whole model. And another use case is with supply chain management. You basically like add a small QR code to your product, and then the whole journey of the product gets recorded on chain for your product. For every warehouse or for every place the product goes, they will scan the QR code and it will get recorded on blockchain. So what this does is the users will have the what do you call it? The users will like have the trust that the product is legit and not coming from someone fake. This can be very useful in the supplement industry, because the all those fake supplement which are not from legit brands. So in that case, it will be really helpful because those product will come from, like, you can check if the product is coming from the official company or not.
Ah, okay. All right, all right. That's a good idea for all those people in this business sector listening. I think you should contact Rohan to find out how to implement this in your business. So Rohan, what else would you like to add? Any more topics that we haven't touched you want to discuss?
I think we pretty much did the main ones, and another thing would be like I don't usually talk about it, but yeah, I think content creation is some sort of things which can be like talk about more building your personal brand or building your community, which is, in my opinion, is very important with the where the economy is going. Our creators or people with some sort of community of their audience will have an always have an upper advantage to others who don't, which is what you are doing as well, and I love it.
Yes, thank you. This is a very easy way of conveying your passion or sharing your learnings with others, and you don't have to depend on big media houses either for entertainment or either for news or information. You can have it by joining spaces or hearing podcasts like these. Yes, this is something that I would suggest everybody to do. Just pick a phone out and start creating content. I think one question we can delve on is, what is the Web3 scenario in India? What do you see? What have you been seeing? What have you been reading?
I think it's like pretty going pretty well, especially because of the Polygon. Polygon did pretty well in India as well. Most of the people I met on multiple positions on Polygon, they are Indians. And another thing I noticed is most of the people are from India who are in Web3. Most of them, like from what I have seen, are in development space. They are engineers or developers. So I think there's an opportunity for non-tech people as well to get into this space. And other than that, in terms of like growing the space, I think more and more people are getting interested in it in terms of brands as well. Like Flipkart is like the most recent one I can recall. They did something in this with the blockchain technology. I don't remember what exactly they did, but yeah, they did some moves.
In India,
I'm not like 100% sure, but yeah, Flipkart did something.
let's find out.
Yeah, I wish ChatGPT was connected to internet. It would have been so easy.
It's connected to the internet. Why not?
I mean, it doesn't have the like up to date data, right? It has.
They had an update which would search the website, but you can use Binge. Binge is Chat GPT 4 rather, which does Web3 search, which is not. I mean, you have to cross check both their answers with Chat GPT in their website and on the Binge. So Binge shares real articles and website links, real time details, and Chat GPT is more learnt and well, I mean, rehearsed, and it's better overall. But I'm still playing around and finding about
They,
Binge. That's an alternative. What did Flipkart do with Web3, with blockchain? Is what we want to find, right?
yeah, yeah. As much I can recall, there was like they did drop a collection which was not tradable, but like an reward, if I remember correctly. I actually had a talk with the guy who did development for them. But anyways, yeah, I think like the space is
So
growing in India as well.
yeah, Flipkart has announced a strategic partnership with Ethereum-based blockchain platform Polygon to speed up an adoption of metaverse and Web3 in e-commerce. The partnership aims to enable Flipkart to leverage Polygon blockchain's technology to build decentralized marketplaces that would allow users to buy and sell digital assets in secure and transparent manner. Partnership will also enable Flipkart to leverage Polygon's expertise in blockchain technology to build a decentralized marketplace that would allow users to buy and sell digital assets in a secure and transparent manner. So that's a good news to see a big brand and a retailer like Flipkart doing experimenting with metaverse and Web3 and using the fundamentals of technology of decentralization
Mhm.
to try out new products and new way of buying and selling. Yeah, that's a good news. Yeah,
Yeah, and are you aware of like Amazon making moves, by the way?
Amazon making.
Making moves in Web3. They announced an NFT marketplace. Like actually not an NFT, but yeah, kind of NFT marketplace, which is supposed to be launched in 24th of April.
Oh, this month itself.
Yep, yep.
So let's ask Binge about that as well. What moves is Amazon making
Yeah, I can
in?
share that. I know about this.
Okay, okay, tell me.
So yeah, like what, like there was an article from one of the like crypto news chain. What they publish is Amazon will be making an NFT marketplace, and it is supposed to go live on 24th of April, which is like this month itself. In the initial launch, they will have 15 collections which users can buy and sell. It's only available in the US to get like to start with, and then it is also said that they will allow users to purchase with their credit card or basically with their Amazon account. So like to reduce the entry of barrier and making the process simpler for all. And but like there was like what interesting in this news is there was not actually a proper official announcement from Amazon's page. So like there are still some speculation if this is real or not. But yeah, based on the sources, it is said that it's 90% confirmed.
Very interesting. So I'll just read out what Binge has also pulled up. Amazon is preparing an initiative focused on NFTs and Web3 gaming. The project will have Web3 gaming as its core, offer NFTs as a reward to players. The plan is still in the early stages, and the company is expected to make official announcement on project in April. Amazon has also launched AWS, which is their cloud, which is the main business, one of the main businesses of Amazon, where you store your company's data on Amazon cloud. That is AWS. Web3 ready. What that means is a one-day virtual event designed with Web3 savvy and Web3 curious minds. So slowly and steadily they are getting there. Very interesting.
Yeah, this was one of the biggest news for month of March.
Okay, so you're such a young person. We have a signature question segment, uh, but it's going to be slightly different for you. Many a times it is looking at the past and thinking on the past, but for you, I want to talk about the future. So, what are your ambitions, Rohan?
Like in terms of Web3 or like the overall.
In general, it's an open end question. This is the signature round of the Rocklaz radio.
Yeah, so like with especially with when I like explored the Web3 technology, like my main personally, it has become my main personal mission as well to make Web3 globally available and mass adoption for all. It's kind of my mission for at least for the next 10 years, 10 to 20 years.
Wow. So you mass adoption is your ambition for the next 10, 20 years.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I'm also very interested in that. Yeah, we can do some definitely we can do something together. Rohan, name 3 people living or dead that you would like to have lunch with.
Sandeep Naiwal, which is the co-founder of Polygon, and then another will be, if possible, Elon Musk, and then the third one will be. Third one is actually it's like pretty interesting. Let me think. A lunch with. It's actually it's a difficult one. Yeah, there's so many people like Oliver.
Living or dead, you can think about anybody.
Yeah, so like I'll not say dead, but yeah, like in terms of now, I'll say the friend which I was talking about earlier. If you remember, Jeff, we have been knowing each other for like 4 years now, but we haven't actually met. So like this is one of the things as well.
So do you know how he looks like?
Yeah, we have calls, texting, and yeah.
All right. So second part of this question is what question would you ask them?
Yeah, so like for Sandeep, I'll ask him how did he saw the whole Web3 space when he first thought of starting Polygon? What were his goals, or what was his mindset related to the whole Web3 thing when he initially started Polygon? And for Elon Musk, it will be uh, why did he change Twitter logo to Dogepound?
Oh, I can give answer to that.
Pump his bags.
Somebody mentioned in his tweet about doing something savage. So that person had mentioned buy Twitter and change its logo to Doge. So that was his promise delivered. I think he found it very cool. So he did that. But it's back to Twitter logo now. It was funny to see the price of Doge rise 30% that day. And I wouldn't be surprised if it fell down again.
That's inevitable.
Yeah, with Twitter switching it back to its original logo. And so many people want to have asked questions for Elon Musk. So I'll ask those questions on your behalf. Elon Musk will be joining Rocklaz Radio in November.
Definitely.
So stay tuned. Stay tuned for that. And we are also in talks with Sandeep, which is very proud to say that it's a blockchain built in India and rapidly what do you say, onboarding, tying up with so many platforms and places, and they're doing great job in onboarding people, and it's an amazing blockchain in itself.
Yeah,
so
100%.
Yes, we'll have them on the show. Okay, Rohan, what is on your bucket list next?
In terms of like,
what do you want to do next?
Oh yeah, so like my plan is basically I'll be like I'm not 100% sure, but I'll be making a platform for either creators or for brands, which basically allows them to use one of the NFT use cases in their day-to-day business. It can be a blockchain-based loyalty program, a ticketing platform, or like any of those platform which has like a huge potential in getting through the mass adoption. And then other than that, and yeah, like I also want to start a podcast actually. And the reason is like which you mentioned earlier, you got to know about how internet works. So it's actually one of the like curious question, but we never actually like go to search how it works. But if we have a guest who can share about it, it's just amazing. So yeah, that's the thing. And other than that is, I think yeah,
And you already have a setup ready. You have got mic and everything stuff. So yeah, I'll do it. It's amazing. It's equivalent of having lunch with somebody, right?
yeah,
And no matter where you are in the world, you can discuss with them, get insights from them, and also share it with the world after that. So yeah, definitely do that. Okay. So what gets you excited about the future?
like in terms of like what gets me excited about the future is basically the work I'm doing now. It's like a short answer to it.
Okay, so these are upcoming three questions are one word answers. Okay, so one word or a small answer. What is your favorite movie?
Avatar 2.
Which one?
Avatar.
Avatar 2. I still haven't watched it. Has it come on Netflix?
I'm not sure. I just watched it last month.
Okay, so I need to watch Avatar 2 and John Wick 4. That's on my bucket list. Favorite book?
The E-Myth.
E-Myth. What is it about?
It's all about building your team and growing your business. And and creating systems instead of like depending on people to do certain work. Just create systems and let people follow it. It's actually one of the reasons why McDonald's is able to keep their taste same all around the world, because they have the recipe made.
Oh yes, I'm ordering it right away. I also got recommendation of this from Ali Abdal's show on his YouTube, so definitely getting it. Okay, so what is your favorite food?
That's a hard one.
Why it's hard? Because you don't eat anything or you eat everything?
I don't actually like since I've started working out, I stopped eating much outside. So it's kind of like a normal food only, which we eat on a day-to-day basis. But if we are going out, I'll say tacos is amazing.
Oh, yes. Let's go. Tacos is not that popular in India. It's catching
Yeah.
up, where I'm sure many of them love it.
Yep.
Okay, Rohan, it was great to have you on the show. It was a fun episode. You're a rising star, so we'll keep watching and following your progress and following your tweets, informative tweets. So keep sharing, keep tweeting. Thank you for coming on the show. And what are your parting words for the audience?
First of all, I appreciate you inviting on the show. It's actually my first official podcast, like a proper podcast. Before I've been invited into Twitter Spaces or live audio shows, but it's actually my first podcast, so it's actually an amazing feeling. And and yeah, like the last thing I'll say is Web3 adoption is inevitable.
Yeah, it's inevitable. So
Yeah,
you cannot ignore
inevitable.
it. Keep following it. Yeah, you got to be informed. All right. Thank you so much, guys. If you watch this episode till here, you're awesome. Many nooks and crannies have been discovered. And thank you for watching all the episodes of Rocklaz Radio. If you want to support the show, you can also become a Rocklaz club member. Amazing benefits for the club members. Details you can see in the link. You'll also be featured in the show. Your name will be there in the show for if you own a certain amount of NFTs of the club token. You can get merchandise of Rocklaz. You can buy some kick-ass NFTs, beautiful art NFTs, 3D animations, which I create. And if you want to sponsor the show, there's a different package for that. You can do that. Or, just buy me a pizza or a cold coffee, either in PayPal or UPI. So do check out all the links. We host spaces on Saturdays, so feel free to enjoy and join this space to talk with us directly. And if you know somebody who wants to come on the show or whom you think is a very suitable audience or guest for the show, do send me the details. You would love to have and talk to them. So have a great time, everybody. See you until later. Bye bye.